I want to pick up a comment by Alex Quinn, who says the consensus among ancient historians was that Jesus was real and was crucified, whatever else historically true or false about the Gospels. Well, my understanding is that there is no consensus that Jesus was real. There is no evidence of his reality, and the ancient texts, the contemporary texts, make no mention of Jesus. And I think the problem is that we are so incredibly taken up with the medieval Islamic idea that that science and the principles of historicity, the liberal arts, the idea of the way the mind can grasp ideas independently. The medievals had this idea that would also confirm religious truth as well. The problem is there are a variety of knowledges. As the Queen pointed out, there's a variety of truths. And I have no difficulty at all in recognizing that academically and historically and scientifically there is... It's not that there isn't any proof of the existence of Jesus. There's quite a lot of evidence to suggest that there is no, that there is proof that he didn't exist. But I can hold that comfortably with a different knowledge. So Plato talks about the difference between belief and knowledge, that belief becomes knowledge when it is justified. And there are different ways in which one can justify belief. One can justify belief through mathematics, for example, or through scientific experiment, though of course that's temporary until a better experiment turns up. Or one can indeed justify knowledge by trust. And in the end, it all comes down to this. Is your belief so strong that you trust it? And I think a belief that is informed by spiritual certainty can take on the understanding of knowledge and can be at odds with scientific or historical reality. So I have no difficulty with recognizing, on the one hand, this is the position of academic research, and quite interesting academic research, and on the other hand, being able to say quite confidently the words of the Creed that Christ suffered under Pontius Pilate, was crucified, died and was buried, and rose on the third day. That seems to me to be perfectly credible, and that is knowledge. That is not belief. Belief is only part of the way, and it's something which is confirmed in Judaism, in the Talmud, and the works of the rabbis, that one isn't called upon to have belief, one's called upon to have knowledge. And knowledge is about certainty and is about trust. When you know that the ice is thick enough to hold you, you will skate on it. When you know that the principles of your religion are true, that goes beyond belief. It lies in knowledge, and that is about trust and certainty. So I think there's I've thought for a long time that it's certainly possible to hold contradictory views with certainty, and I take pride in doing so. I've extended it a bit beyond the religious domain to the political as well, and I'm very comfortable holding views that are not watertight. If they're good enough for the moment, they're good enough for me. If they don't last till night time, I I'm content that they're there when they're needed. And as for the religious truth, that doesn't bother me. That really doesn't bother me at all. I feel confident in the religious truth, in the same way as I feel confident that one must press the academic truth as far as one possibly can, and within that context, I think the principles of ecumenism and interfaith are things that we must embrace. So how does that square with evangelization? Well, in the 21st century with the internet, people know you don't have to go knocking on doors and trying to persuade people. People know the message of Christianity, the message of Islam. These two great evangelical religions are very well known. And if you don't know about Islam, well, it's a healthy religion that bears reading about, and the Quran is one of the great books of literature, and a book that has transformed the lives of many people. I think it has to be read with advice, and it has to be read with discernment, and within the traditions of Islam, which is one of the reasons why I think Tommy Robinson's reordering is so disgraceful. But and in the same way, I think the traditions of the Jewish scriptures need to be read within the context of Talmudic scholarship and the writings of the rabbis, just as the Christian biblical texts need to be read within the context of the fathers of the church, and the living tradition of a culture that continues to this day, so it's so I'd come back to the same thing. Thank you very much for the comments. They're always thought-provoking, and I'm sometimes they make me stop in my path, and I think, ooh, should I answer that? But there just isn't enough time in the day really to do everything. I try and do what I can, but Alex Quinn, thank you very much. It was a very thought-provoking question.